Hi everybody, my name is Mark Bullock and I'm going to take you through some tennis exercises that you can do at home from a seated position. But just before we start, I'm going to take you through a little bit of safety. So if you answer yes to any of these questions, you should seek medical advice before taking part in these exercises. So, has your doctor ever said that you have a heart condition and recommended only medically supervised activity? Do you have chest pain brought on by physical activity? Have you developed chest pain in the last month? Do you tend to lose consciousness or fall over as a result of dizziness? Do you have a bone or joint problem that could be aggravated by the proposed physical activity? Has the doctor ever recommended medication for your blood pressure or heart condition? And are you aware of or been advised of any other physical reason why you shouldn't exercise without medical supervision? If the answer is yes to any of those, seek out your GP, get a bit of guidance, but otherwise, let's get started. You'll need some equipment. Here I've got a balloon with rice in it, not essential, but great for doing exercise at home, and I'll give you a few ideas on how you can use it. Very highly visible and audible. I've also got a tennis ball. This tennis ball happens to be audible. It's foam and it rattles, but a regular tennis ball is fine, or a foam ball. And if you haven't got those, rolled up socks will do exactly the same thing. And I will do most of this little session with the ball and the rolled up socks, so it's easily accessible and people can do it at home very easily. And of course, being tennis, you will need a racket, or maybe a table tennis bat, or perhaps a light frying pan, something that you can use to strike the ball. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up, and I'm going to take the racket out in front of me, stretch it as far as I can, take it out to one side, turning as far as I can, back to centre, out to the right, back to centre, and now my racket's going to go out of shot, but I'm going to stretch up as high as I can, back to centre, one side, centre, and then the other. And to make it a little bit more challenging, I'm going to put my socks on the racket and take it out to the left, to centre, to the right, to centre, try and go as high as I can without losing the socks, back to centre, and relax. And now you're going to take the racket in one hand, socks in the other, place the socks on the racket or bat or whatever you've got, and you're going to take the socks out as far to the right as you can, back to centre, out to the left, back to centre, right, centre, left, just trying to keep the sock balanced on the racket face. You can then do it with the other hand, so I'm just going to swap hands. So I'm going to put the racket in my non-dominant hand, go out to my left, to centre, right, centre, then I'm going to try and go up and down a little bit with my left hand, keeping the socks nicely balanced on the strings. If you do this with a ball, it's a little bit harder to keep the ball balanced on the strings. And I'm going to go back to my regular hand, up and down, and as I get, dropped it. Just about to say, as I get more confident, I'm then going to, a bit like a pancake, toss the socks up into the air and catch them on my racket or bat, And again, I can do this with my other hand too. Oh, not so good with my left hand. No problem, try again. And if I get more confident, I turn the racket face over, try and catch it on the other side. Then with my other hand, I'll find this easier with my right hand. Brilliant. And now I'm going to have a little rally with myself. So I've got the socks balanced on the strings of my racket, and then I'm going to try and just toss it into the hand, catch it, start off just by putting it back on my strings, and then I can throw it onto my strings, toss it into my hand, and have a little self rally. And again, I can swap hands. And then I start to toss it from one hand to the other. Brilliant. And then the next thing I can do is start to have a little floor rally. So this time I'm going to use the audible ball. I'm going to put it on the floor with my racket in one hand. I'm going to rally up against my foot. Now this foam ball will bounce off my foot as I strike it. If I do it with the other hand with the sock is not going to bounce off my foot, so I kick it back, hit it to my foot, kick it back, hit it, kick it, hit it, kick it, hit it. So I'm having a little floor rally with myself. The next thing I can do is take the ball or the socks, whatever I'm using, for a little walk. Now what I'm going to try and do is take the ball for a walk around my feet in a figure of 8. So I'm just going around my feet in a figure of 8. And I could also do this, I could have 2 tins of soup in front of me and do a pattern around the soup, whatever works, whatever you've got at home. And as I said earlier, the balloon, if you've got one, is brilliant for doing tennis at home activity because it's safe, it moves relatively slowly through the air, and it's not going to break any of your ornaments. But I would still advise that you remove any ornaments from close to you so that there's no risk that you might knock something off with a ball or your racket. But with a balloon, as I said before, this is audible. There's lots you can do with a balloon, similar to we did before. But a balloon is really versatile. Lots of ideas of what you can do with a balloon at home. So hopefully given you a few ideas of tennis related activities you can do at home from a seated position. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you very much.